What if the secret to a healthier gut wasn't hidden inside an expensive supplement, but in plants that humans have trusted for thousands of years? Long before laboratories existed, people noticed that certain leaves, roots, and herbs could calm an upset stomach, ease bloating, and help food move comfortably through the digestive system. Today, modern science is beginning to explain why those traditional remedies work so well. But here's something most people don't realize. Bloating isn't always caused by eating too much. Sometimes it's the result of inflammation. Sometimes it's trapped gas. Sometimes it's stress disrupting the communication between your brain and your gut. And in many cases, the right plant works because it targets one of these problems at its source instead of simply masking the symptoms. Stay with me because the final plants on this list have surprised researchers with findings that challenge what many people think they know about digestive health. One of them even became the focus of medical research after doctors observed unusually rapid healing of damaged stomach tissue. If you enjoy evidence-based documentaries that bring together ancient wisdom and modern science, subscribe to the channel and join our growing community. Every week we explore remarkable plants, forgotten remedies, and the fascinating biology that explains why they work. Let's begin. Peppermint has earned its reputation as one of the world's greatest digestive herbs. For more than 3,000 years, civilizations including the Egyptians, Greeks, and Romans turned to peppermint after heavy meals. They didn't know anything about smooth muscle physiology or biochemical pathways. They simply knew people felt better after drinking peppermint tea. Modern science now tells us why. Peppermint contains a powerful natural compound called menthol. This cooling molecule interacts with calcium channels inside the smooth muscles that surround your intestines. Those muscles constantly contract and relax to push food and gas through the digestive tract. When they become overly tight or begin to spasm, gas becomes trapped, pressure builds, and the familiar sensation of bloating appears. Menthol helps those muscles relax naturally. As the intestinal walls loosen, trapped gas can move through the digestive system instead of stretching the gut and causing discomfort. Researchers have spent decades studying peppermint oil, particularly in people living with irritable bowel syndrome. Clinical trials consistently report reductions in abdominal pain, bloating, and digestive spasms when enteric-coated peppermint oil is used. The enteric coating is important because it allows the capsule to reach the small intestine before releasing its contents, maximizing its effectiveness while reducing irritation to the stomach. Peppermint also acts as a gentle carminative. That means it encourages gas to move through the digestive tract rather than remaining trapped inside. For everyday use, a cup of freshly brewed peppermint tea after meals remains one of the simplest and most effective traditions ever discovered. Fresh leaves contain aromatic oils that are released into the hot water, creating a soothing drink that works on both the digestive system and the senses. Scientists are still investigating whether peppermint may also influence certain pain receptors inside the gut, helping explain why so many people describe relief that feels almost immediate. Next comes a root that has traveled through nearly every major medical tradition in history. Ginger has been used in Chinese medicine, Ayurveda, Greek medicine, and countless traditional cultures for more than 5,000 years. While many people know ginger for reducing nausea, researchers now believe its greatest strength may be its ability to improve the speed and efficiency of digestion itself. One of the main causes of bloating is delayed gastric emptying. Instead of moving into the small intestine efficiently, food remains inside the stomach longer than necessary. During this delay, fermentation increases, gas production rises, and pressure begins to build. Ginger helps solve that problem. Its most studied compounds, gingerols and showgills, stimulate digestive activity while reducing inflammation throughout the digestive tract. Several studies have demonstrated that ginger can accelerate gastric emptying, allowing food to leave the stomach more efficiently. Faster movement means less fermentation, less gas production, and a reduced feeling of fullness after eating. These compounds also possess powerful antioxidant properties. During digestion, inflammatory molecules known as reactive oxygen species can damage tissues lining the digestive tract. Gingerols help neutralize these molecules before they trigger excessive inflammation. Researchers have also discovered that ginger appears to influence serotonin receptors involved in nausea and digestive signaling. This may explain why the same root that calms motion sickness also settles an overworked stomach after a large meal. Fresh ginger remains one of the best preparations. Thin slices gently simmered for 10 minutes release the active compounds into the water while producing a warm, comforting tea that supports digestion without relying on artificial ingredients. Some nutrition researchers even suggest consuming ginger before a heavy meal rather than afterward, allowing the digestive system to prepare itself before the food arrives. Now let's move to a spice that has fascinated scientists more than almost any other natural medicine on Earth. Turmeric has been treasured throughout India for thousands of years. Ancient Ayurvedic practitioners considered it one of nature's great healers, using it for digestion, joint health, wound care, and overall vitality. Today, thousands of scientific papers have focused on its primary active compound, curcumin. Curcumin belongs to a group of plant chemicals called polyphenol. These molecules protect plants from environmental stress, but inside the human body, they perform another remarkable role by helping regulate inflammation. Inflammation is one of the hidden drivers of digestive discomfort. When the intestinal lining becomes irritated, digestion slows, gut bacteria become imbalanced, and excess gas production often follows. Curcumin interacts with several inflammatory pathways, including one called NF-kappa B, often described as a master switch for inflammation. By reducing the activity of this pathway, curcumin may help calm irritation throughout the digestive tract. Research has also shown that turmeric can stimulate bile production. Bile is produced by the liver and stored in the gallbladder before being released into the small intestine, where it breaks down dietary fats. Poor fat digestion is a surprisingly common cause of bloating. When fats remain undigested, intestinal bacteria begin fermenting leftover food particles, producing additional gas. By encouraging healthy bile flow, turmeric helps improve fat digestion while reducing one of the underlying causes of post-meal discomfort. There is one fascinating detail many traditional cooks somehow understood centuries before science confirmed it. Curcumin is naturally difficult for the body to absorb. However, black pepper contains a compound called piperine that dramatically increases curcumin absorption. Traditional recipes almost always combine turmeric with black pepper, unknowingly creating one of nature's most effective nutritional partnerships. Adding a small amount of healthy fat, such as olive oil or coconut milk, improves absorption even further because curcumin dissolves more readily in fat than in water. This beautiful intersection between traditional cooking and modern biochemistry reminds us that ancestral food wisdom often contained scientific truths long before laboratories were able to measure them. But if turmeric helps calm inflammation, the next plant focuses on something entirely different. It helps prevent the gas from forming in the first place. Fennel has been served at the end of meals across the Mediterranean, the Middle East, and South Asia for centuries. In many Indian restaurants today, you'll still find bowls of fennel seeds offered after dinner. While many assume they're simply breath fresheners, their original purpose was much more practical. Fennel was nature's digestive aid. The secret lies in a fragrant compound called anethole. This natural phytochemical helps relax the smooth muscles lining the digestive tract, while also encouraging trapped gas bubbles to combine and move through the intestines more easily. Think of it as reducing traffic congestion inside your digestive system. When gas becomes trapped in several small pockets, pressure builds unevenly, producing cramping and swelling. By relaxing intestinal muscles and improving movement, fennel allows those gas pockets to pass naturally. Researchers studying fennel extracts have observed improvements in abdominal discomfort, bloating, and digestive spasms. Some evidence also suggests fennel may help reduce excessive intestinal contractions, making it particularly useful for people whose digestive symptoms worsen after large meals. Fennel also contains flavonoids and antioxidant compounds that help protect digestive tissues from oxidative stress. While these antioxidants are not responsible for the immediate relief many people experience, they may contribute to healthier digestion over time. Chewing a teaspoon of fennel seeds after eating remains one of the oldest and simplest digestive habits still practiced around the world. Our next plant works very differently because sometimes your stomach isn't reacting to food at all. Sometimes it's reacting to your mind. Chamomile has been treasured throughout Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East for thousands of years. Ancient Egyptian healers valued it so highly they associated the flower with the sun itself. Modern neuroscience helps explain why chamomile has remained popular for centuries. One of its primary compounds, apigenin, interacts with receptors in the brain that regulate relaxation. Rather than acting like a pharmaceutical sedative, apigenin gently encourages the nervous system to shift away from its stress response. That matters because the digestive system and the brain communicate constantly through what scientists call the gut-brain axis. When you're anxious, your brain releases stress hormones that alter digestion. Blood flow changes, muscle contractions become irregular, and digestion slows. Many people experience bloating not because they ate the wrong food, but because their nervous system is trapped in a prolonged state of tension. Chamomile addresses both sides of that equation. It calms the nervous system, while also relaxing digestive muscles through its natural antispasmodic properties. Laboratory studies have demonstrated that chamomile extracts can reduce intestinal spasms and may help decrease inflammatory signaling within digestive tissues. The result is often a calmer stomach and a calmer mind at the same time. This dual action explains why many people find a cup of chamomile tea especially helpful after emotionally stressful days rather than simply after large meals. Now we're moving to one of the most unusual plants on today's list. Unlike herbs that stimulate digestion, this next remedy acts almost like a protective blanket. Slippery elm comes from the inner bark of a tree native to North America and has been used for generations by indigenous communities. Its most remarkable feature is a natural substance called mucilage. When mixed with water, mucilage transforms into a thick gel. Inside the digestive tract, that gel coats the lining of the esophagus, stomach, and intestines, forming a soothing protective layer over irritated tissue. Imagine applying a cooling bandage to an inflamed surface. That is remarkably similar to what slippery elm does inside the gut. Researchers believe this protective coating reduces irritation caused by stomach acid, friction from food, and ongoing inflammation. It also creates conditions that may allow damaged tissues to recover more comfortably. Although modern clinical research on slippery elm is still developing, laboratory studies and traditional medical use strongly support its role as a demulcent, a substance that protects and soothes irritated mucous membranes. This makes slippery elm particularly valuable for people whose bloating is accompanied by burning sensations, stomach irritation, or chronic digestive sensitivity. Mixing the powdered bark into warm water creates the traditional preparation, producing a smooth drink that may not look particularly impressive, but has earned centuries of respect from herbal practitioners. If slippery elm protects the digestive lining from the outside, the next plant works by calming inflammation from within. Aloe vera has been called the plant of immortality since ancient Egypt. Most people recognize it as a treatment for sunburn, yet its internal uses stretch back thousands of years as well. The clear gel found inside the leaf contains long-chain sugars known as polysaccharides. These complex carbohydrates appear to help support the protective mucus layer lining the digestive tract, while also influencing inflammatory activity within intestinal tissues. Researchers continue studying aloe's ability to reduce irritation associated with functional digestive disorders. Some clinical trials suggest that purified inner leaf gel may improve symptoms including bloating, abdominal discomfort, and irregular bowel habits when used consistently. It's important to understand that not every part of the aloe plant should be consumed. The yellow latex found just beneath the outer leaf contains anthraquinones that have powerful laxative effects and may cause cramping. The clear inner gel is the portion traditionally used for digestive support. Scientists also believe aloe's antioxidant compounds may help reduce oxidative stress, another contributor to chronic inflammation inside the gut. While peppermint and ginger often provide relatively rapid relief, aloe tends to work more gradually by supporting the health of the digestive lining over time. Now let's look at one of nature's most fascinating digestive fruits. Papaya has been cultivated across Central America and Southeast Asia for centuries, and its reputation as a digestive aid rests largely on a remarkable enzyme called papain. Enzymes are biological catalysts. Their job is to speed up chemical reactions. Papain specializes in breaking apart proteins into smaller fragments that are easier for your digestive system to absorb. When protein digestion is incomplete, bacteria inside the intestines begin fermenting those leftover proteins. That fermentation produces gases such as hydrogen and methane, contributing to bloating after meals rich in meat, dairy, or legumes. Papain helps reduce that problem by improving protein digestion before fermentation has a chance to begin. Studies investigating papaya preparations have reported improvements in digestive comfort, reduced bloating, and better bowel regularity among participants experiencing mild digestive complaints. Papaya is also naturally rich in vitamin C, carotenoids, and dietary fiber, nutrients that contribute to overall digestive health while supporting a diverse gut microbiome. Some traditional cultures also prepare papaya leaf tea, although the ripe fruit remains the most common and widely studied dietary source. If you've made it this far, you probably noticed something remarkable. These plants don't rely on a single mechanism. Some relax muscles. Some calm inflammation. Some improve enzyme activity. Others protect the gut lining itself. Understanding that difference is one of the biggest steps toward choosing the right remedy for the right problem instead of hoping every herb does the same thing. If you're finding this documentary helpful, take a moment to like the video. It tells YouTube that more people interested in natural health and evidence-based nutrition should see this information. And if you've ever tried one of these plants yourself, let everyone know in the comments. Your experience could help someone else who has been searching for answers. Now let's finish with two plants whose medical history continues to surprise researchers. Artichoke may be best known today as a Mediterranean vegetable, but for centuries its leaves were valued far more as medicine than as food. Ancient physicians noticed that people who struggled after rich, fatty meals often felt better after consuming preparations made from artichoke leaves. Modern biochemistry has revealed why. One of the key compounds found in artichoke leaf is cynerin, a naturally occurring polyphenol that encourages the liver to produce and release bile. Bile acts like the body's natural detergent, breaking large fat droplets into tiny particles that digestive enzymes can process efficiently. When bile production is sluggish, fat remains in the digestive tract longer than it should. This delayed digestion creates the perfect environment for fermentation, excess gas production, and the heavy feeling many people experience after eating fried or fatty foods. Clinical studies have shown that artichoke leaf extract can improve symptoms such as fullness, bloating, abdominal discomfort, and indigestion. Some research also suggests it may support healthy liver function, making it valuable for digestion beyond simply reducing gas. Scientists continue exploring its antioxidant properties as well. Artichoke contains chlorogenic acid and several flavonoids that help protect liver cells from oxidative stress, allowing this remarkable organ to perform its digestive responsibilities more efficiently. For people who regularly experience bloating after restaurant meals or rich holiday dinners, artichoke leaf remains one of the most evidence-supported herbal options available. Our final plant is one that almost everyone has eaten, yet very few people realize it once became the center of groundbreaking medical research. Cabbage has nourished civilizations for thousands of years. Ancient Romans praised it for its medicinal qualities, while cultures across Europe and Asia fermented it into foods like sauerkraut and kimchi long before anyone understood the science of probiotics. Then something extraordinary happened during the 20th century. Doctors began studying fresh cabbage juice as a treatment for stomach ulcers. To their surprise, many patients experienced healing far more quickly than expected. Researchers eventually identified several nutrients that may explain these observations. One of the most discussed was a compound historically nicknamed vitamin U, now recognized as S-methylmethionine. Although it is not officially classified as a vitamin, scientists believe it may help support the repair and maintenance of the stomach's protective lining. Cabbage is also packed with vitamin C, glutamine, fiber, and sulfur-containing compounds that support tissue repair and healthy digestion. Its fiber serves another important purpose. Beneficial bacteria living inside the colon ferment dietary fiber into short-chain fatty acids, such as butyrate. These molecules nourish the cells lining the intestine, strengthen the gut barrier, and help regulate inflammation throughout the digestive system. When cabbage is naturally fermented into raw sauerkraut or kimchi, it becomes even more impressive. Fermentation introduces beneficial bacteria that help diversify the gut microbiome. A healthier microbiome is associated with better digestion, improved immune function, and lower levels of gas-producing harmful bacteria. Scientists now understand that many digestive problems begin with an imbalance in the trillions of microorganisms living inside the gut. Supporting those microbial communities through fermented foods may be one of the simplest ways to improve digestive health over time. Fresh cabbage juice remains a traditional remedy used by many people seeking additional stomach support, while small servings of raw fermented cabbage can easily become part of a balanced diet. Looking back at these 10 remarkable plants, a fascinating pattern emerges. Peppermint and fennel relax digestive muscles and help trapped gas escape naturally. Ginger and papaya improve the movement and breakdown of food before fermentation has a chance to create excess gas. Turmeric and aloe vera help calm inflammation that silently disrupts digestion. Chamomile reminds us that emotional stress can influence the gut just as powerfully as the foods we eat. Slippery elm creates a soothing protective barrier over irritated digestive tissues. Artichoke supports healthy bile production, so fats can be digested efficiently. And cabbage demonstrates that everyday foods can sometimes possess extraordinary healing potential when viewed through the lens of both tradition and science. What makes these plants truly remarkable is that they don't force the digestive system into action. Instead, they support the body's own natural processes. They reduce unnecessary inflammation, improve digestive efficiency, nourish beneficial microbes, and help restore balance rather than simply masking symptoms. That philosophy is beginning to reshape modern medicine. Scientists are increasingly recognizing that long-term digestive health depends less on suppressing symptoms and more on supporting the complex biological systems that keep the gut functioning properly. Of course, it's important to remember that persistent bloating, unexplained weight loss, severe abdominal pain, blood in the stool, or ongoing digestive symptoms should always be evaluated by a qualified healthcare professional. While these plants have impressive histories and encouraging scientific evidence, they are not substitutes for proper medical diagnosis or treatment when serious conditions are involved. Still, There's something inspiring about realizing that many of the answers our ancestors discovered through careful observation are now being validated by laboratories around the world. Generation after generation, people pass down knowledge about these humble plants without understanding receptors, enzymes, antioxidants, or the microbiome. Today, science is simply giving names to mechanisms they witnessed centuries ago. Perhaps the greatest lesson isn't that one magical plant can solve every digestive problem. It's that nature offers a diverse collection of tools, each working through its own unique chemistry to support one of the most important systems in the human body. So the next time your stomach feels heavy after a meal, remember that relief may not always come from the newest product on a pharmacy shelf. Sometimes it begins with a cup of peppermint tea, a slice of fresh ginger, a spoonful of fermented cabbage, or a handful of herbs that have quietly served humanity for thousands of years. If you enjoyed this journey through the science and history of medicinal plants, let us know in the comments which one surprised you the most. Have you experienced the calming effects of peppermint, the warming power of ginger, or the remarkable digestive support of fermented cabbage? We'd love to hear your story, because your experience could help someone else searching for natural ways to care for their health. If you found this documentary valuable, please give it a like and share it with someone who struggles with digestive discomfort. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. Every week, we explore the fascinating intersection of ancient botanical wisdom and modern scientific discovery, uncovering the remarkable ways plants continue to shape human health. Until next time, remember that some of the world's most powerful medicines aren't always found in laboratories. Many are still growing quietly in gardens, forests, kitchens, and fields, waiting for us to rediscover the wisdom they have carried for thousands of years.